Today's class is hand and wrist strengthening exercises, which is especially good class for computer programmers, hairdressers, gardeners, and chefs. Anybody who uses their hands and wrists a lot with repetitive motions. A warm welcome to those of you who are new to me. I am your yoga instructor, Patricia Becker. This short yoga therapy class for your hands and wrists will increase your range of motion and lengthen and strengthen your tendons and be great for you. All other exercises will also lengthen your joints and generate more strength around your joints. So let's begin. I'm glad you're here. You can begin seated on your feet or up on a block, or you could also sit cross-legged. Please take a moment to connect to your breath. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Please interlace your fingers and turn your palms out. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And then interlace your fingers the opposite way, your non-dominant way. Spread your fingers and turn your palms out. Stretch. Press your fingers against your hands. And then release. Okay, we're going to come up to all fours now. So come to your hands and knees and please spread your fingers really wide. Root down through your metacarpals, where your fingers meet your hands. Press down there, spread your fingers. You want to energetically lift up the underside of your wrist. Pretend like you have gecko hands. And now we're going to circle the torso around. Leaning one way and then the other. This is great to help you with any arm balancing and hand balancing poses you do in your yoga classes. Now, please turn your fingers all the way around if possible. If that's uncomfortable, just turn them part way around. But if you can turn them all the way around, please do so. And then circle your torso around. You're shifting your weight around your inner and outer wrist, inner and outer hand. Remember your gecko hands, pressing down through where your fingers meet your hands, pressing down through the pads of your fingers. Now, you can actually lean back to stretch out the underside of your wrist. Just do it to that sweet spot. Not too much, not too little. Lean back. Oh, that feels good. And then we'll do it again. Make sure you press your pads, your fingers down, and then lean back and breathe. Activates the underside of your wrists. And then come back up. And then turn your palms, the top of your hand down. Yeah. And you'll feel this. See if you can lean back, your torso back. Make wrists, wiggle your fingers, make wrists. Make fists, wiggle your fingers, make fists. This is an exercise we do before acro yoga. Okay, and then turn your hands back. And we'll come back to seated again. And then stretch your arms straight out and press your hand on one finger and then press your hand back. Again, a nice stretch for the underside of your wrist. Press your fingers in your hands in your fingers. And then we'll do the other hand. Press, press, press back. And now we're going to make a high five with your hand, high five. And then squeeze your wrist and lovingly pull the tendons and the muscles down towards the earth. Make a fist and take your fist away from you. This is great to prevent arthritis, carpal tunnel syndrome. Stretch as much as you can and then release. And then we'll do it again, high five. Squeeze your wrist, pull down, and make a fist and take your fist away. If you have pain or swelling in your hands, this can really free it up. And then come on up, and we'll do it again. And make a fist and take your fist away. If you ever do handstands, standing on your hands, this pose will bring a lot of relief, because naturally when you're on your hands in handstands or in plank or in down dog, the weight tends to sink right into the heel of your hand. And that's why I was saying before, energetically lift up. But when it does, when you're just getting used to it, the weight will sink down. So this pose is really good for that. So let's do it on the other hand. High five. Squeeze your wrist and pull the tendons and the ligaments down, and then make a fist and take your fist away. And then release. You'll feel it. You'll see, oh, that's really good. And then squeeze your wrist again. Spread your fingers, and then make a fist to take your fist away from you. You'll also keep good mobility in your fingers and your wrist. You want to have strong hands. A life of strong fingers, strong wrists, strong hands. And then high five again, squeeze, make a fist, and take your fist away. Self-care is our best health care. A lot of arthritis often will settle in people's hands and fingers, so we want to mitigate that by doing exercises for our hands and wrists. So go ahead and just make fists and make circles with your wrist. And then go the other way. Make circles the other way with your fist. And then release. And then shake out your hands. Just shake them up. Shake them up. And then rub your hands together. This is creating chi, life force. Creating heat in between your hands. Yeah. Bring circulation. Circulation is very, very good. Bring the nutrients and the flexibility and the mobility to your hands and wrists and fingers. Good. And then we're going to just put your hands down and then come up to your fingers. And then you come up and come down. You can do this weight bearing if you'd like, by coming up to your knees or coming up into a down dog. Up and down, up and down. And then that's a nice one to practice. Like I said, you can practice it in other poses too. So now, take your right arm on top of your left and turn the little fingers up towards the ceiling and interlace your fingers, and then take your hands in toward your heart and then all the way back out again. Weave it. And then weave it back and up. And then weave it back in and back up. And in and out. If you find this challenging at first, not to worry. Just relax and keep practicing. It's a practice. Yoga is a practice. So take your arms out and take your left arm on top. Turn the little fingers up towards the ceiling Interlace your fingers and weave your hands up and back and through and out the other side. This is a real good stretch for your wrists and your hands. And out. And then this one, back out. This is a really good stretch. And you can make small little adjustments to get a stretch where it feels especially good, or if it feels a little tight, you can just stretch there, breathe into it. And then back out. Stretch your arms long, draw your shoulders back. Squeeze your hands, and we'll turn it out again. And then back in. Think of how much our hands do for us all day long. Goodness gracious. And release. So we want to give our hands tender, loving care. So pretend like you're washing your hands now. Just massaging your hands. If you have some nice sesame oil, you can put that on there. I like sesame oil all over my body. Organic, of course. So massage your hands. And then we can do a little acupressure for our hands. Again, stimulating the energy is helping, bringing circulation. So let's do in this part here where the fingers meet the hands. Press in as much as you can, move it around. Just connect, appreciate your hands. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of this class, how if your hands feel better, your hands and wrists feel better. You can leave a comment in the section if you're on YouTube, or you can reach out to me at my website on the screen. Yeah, massage it all around, and then do the other hand. This feels really good. You might get addicted to doing this. Yoga for the hands, for the wrists. So good. You can do this anytime. Maybe you're in an airplane or you're a passenger in a car. Why not give your hands a little extra love? And then press your hands together, fingers together. Press them in, strengthen your wrists, strengthen your hands, your fingers. Take a nice big breath, and then you can take your fingers together. If you have the flexibility, if not, it will start happening. It'll get more flexible every time you practice this class. And then bring your hands together. From my happy hands to your happy hands, namaste.